Hey, Misa here again, your vampire historian, here to bring you more vampire lore. So somebody asked about how vampires are made, so today we're going to go over that. So the first kind is the supernatural transmission, and a lot of these are ones we're probably familiar with, such as the blood exchange. And that's the most common method that you find in fiction where a vampire drains a human to the brink of death and then feeds the human their own vampire blood, and that transforms them. There's also the fatal bite, and that's in older traditions and early cinema, where a simple bite from a vampire is enough to pass the infection, and the victim gets sick, dies, and rise a few days later as a vampire. And then there's the vampiric infection or virus, where vampirism is a pathogen transmitted through saliva or blood or scratch. In a lot of Eastern European folklore, a corpse could easily be turned into a vampire before burial through accidental contamination, such as animal interference. Like if a cat, dog, or bird jumps or flies over a dead body before it is buried, the corpse is believed to be reanimated as a vampire. This is kind of connected to Jiangxi that we talked about in China. Shadows and light. If a living person's shadow falls over a corpse, or if a mirror reflects a dead body, it can trap the soul and cause it to rise. And the unburied dead, where soldiers left on the battlefield, drowning victims, or anybody whose body was not given a proper religious burial rites, was at risk of becoming a vampire or a cursed spirit. Now there's curses and moral transgressions. So vampirism historically was seen as a spiritual punishment for how a person lived or died. So if they self-off themselves or by violence, so people who self-off themselves or through violence were sometimes destined to become restless spirits or vampires. And then there was excommunication, where in Greek and Slavic lore, being excommunicated from the church meant that your body could not decompose in the earth, forcing it to become an undead creature. And of course, if you were a witch or a sorcerer, people who practiced dark magic or dealt with the devil during their lifetime automatically became a vampire or evil spirit upon death. And then there are circumstances around birth. So in global mythology, some people were unfortunately doomed to become vampires from the moment they were born, such as the seventh child. In Romanian folklore, the seventh son of the seventh son or seventh daughter was believed to be cursed to become the strigoi after death. Born with a caul. Children with a piece of the amniotic sac covering their head or face were thought to have 1 foot in the spirit world, leading to vampirism. And maternal causes. If a pregnant woman was bitten by a vampire, or if she walked outside under a full moon without protection, her child might be born a vampire. And then there's even one about consumption of defiled meat.